Good. Okay, so we're recording, and this is part 2 of the video that Abhishek and I have done before, and this time Sam is joining us. Everyone knows they're being recorded, and so in the first part of the video, we made a branch, and we got again, because I'm a Subversion person, I'd say a working copy, I guess a checkout of Git, and then set it to that branch. And that was, I think, 5 days ago. And so I've made quite a few changes since then. I've gotten those changes committed to my branch. And so that was all pretty standard Git stuff. And now we're going to go and get it committed back to the VTK-m repo, which is takes some more effort. And so Abhishek is going to walk us through the process. For me, as someone who is borderline hostile against Git, I'm sure I'll have lots of questions. And for Sam, who's more friendly to Git, he may have some questions about the specifics for VTK-m. So we actually, it's 2:20. We started our call at 2 o'clock, and I asked some questions, and we got some stuff already set up here. So specifically, we figured out this command right here, which is a diff command that says only the names of things that have been modified, and we wanted to look at what was different between upstream master, which is what is the main branch for VTK-m, and we in the first video we set up the word upstream, and my branch, which is Jacobian cell metric, and then these were the files that changed. And so actually, even though the branch is called Jacobian cell metric, and here's the Jacobian cell metric that was added that came from Sam, there's more files that changed because first off there are these helper files that Sam added, and then I've actually done an overhaul of the mesh quality filter and simplified it a bit, and of the testing, the unit test for the mesh quality filter, because we determined that wasn't working right. The other thing that we confirmed was that we've gotten everything checked in, and so here if we do git status dash then we see the branch and there's nothing to commit because I've already committed all of these files. So it's been 5 days of modifying files, building, running tests, etc. And we're finally at the moment where we're ready to get our changes, which have been committed to this branch. What's the right word? I guess I would like to say pushed up to the main branch, but in Git they call it a pull request, right? That we request that someone on the main branch pull our changes up to the main branch. Is that the right way to think about it?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so Abhishek, lead us through this process. What's my next step?
So usually like when you do a push to your branch, which is like forked out of VTK-m's main master, whenever you like commit a change to that, it spits out a URL which enables you to raise a merge request or a pull request.
Okay.
Right? But since like we've already like pushed all the changes to that and like we don't have that URL, what you could do is go to the GitLab website.
Okay.
And go to your fork. Are you already there?
Well, let's see. So it looks like I'm on the VTK-m fork. I think last time we decided I wanted to click there, and that would go to my fork.
That's right.
And we noted last time that this used to say VTK-m, and now it says Hank Childs, and so this is the fork for me on Git. Okay.
That's right. So now what you do is in the drop-down list of where you see the branch master, it's below that. So just above your merge
right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see a Jacobian cell matrix over there in that drop-down list. No, don't add a new branch. Like just expand that drop-down and go to Jacobian cell matrix. Do you see it?
So I should be right here on master.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe what we've done is the branch that we've created on your machine, it's just local and it has not been pushed to your origin.
Okay.
So we just need to like execute one simple command and this should fix our problem.
Sure.
Can you do a git push origin and then Jacobian cell matrix?
I think this is great. On the one hand, we want to have the most efficient video for people to watch, but on the other hand, these sort of mistakes are good to see. So
but this is not a mistake, right? Like you can work on like locally and also like Git maintains something online.
Yeah.
Which is like you need to like push to something online, and that origin is that online location for you.
Okay.
And what this command did was like replicated all your changes onto the GitLab website.
Okay.
So now if you'll go to that drop down list again, you'll
Yeah.
magically see your Jacobian cell matrix.
So now, would a typical Git, there it is, would a typical Git user have been doing git push origin regularly?
Ideally, Git should set it up by itself. Like whenever you check out from a website, it's like does the origin for you. And like when you create branches, typically a Git user would need to like push to a origin
Okay.
that branch name.
Because I assumed by doing a commit, it was putting the files on a repo somewhere. I didn't realize it was local to my machine. So
Yeah, your machine.
yeah, so that's not good. I would have been very unhappy if there was an earthquake and I would have found out I lost 5 days of work. But I guess it's fixed now. So this should be part of my process when I'm doing a commit to also do a push to origin.
Mm-hmm.
And now push to origin in this case, because I have, when we've clicked on the Hank Childs fork, it's not on my master. That just means that this branch is being stored underneath my master. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So not your master. Master is just like a name of a branch, which is like the main branch, and you create like other branches out of that.
Okay.
So it would be stored in your local repo is just what we'll say.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And if you like go to your terminal again, and after we executed that command, now you can see a message that Git has given you to create a merge request for Jacobian cell matrix visit. So that's the URL like you'll copy and like enter into your browser, but that could be done from the website again, itself.
Okay, well, you lead the way, Abhishek. I am at your disposal. So should I click on this one or should I?
Sure. Like let's do it from the website.
Okay.
Just go to that location, and on the top right, you'll see create merge request.
Yep.
You'll click on that.
I clicked, it's loading.
Right. Okay. And then over here, it gives you like a couple of options. First is like the title of your merge request. This should be a short kind of handle to like let people know if like what is this merge request about. So like Jacobian cell matrix in this case like seems okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
But now is this, so it says end of VTK master. So this would be going into the master. Is that right?
That's right. But like not automatically. First, there would be like a huge work that we'll walk through, and then it would get merged into the master.
Okay,
yes.
But this is the starting the process to go to the master. So let me do a little bit better, and I'm going to say mesh quality metrics, add Jacobian cell metric, and simplify filter and improve testing. That's too
much. Just a small comment. This is supposed to be a title, but you're writing the description, and there's like a whole new section for a description.
So okay, good. Thanks. So what would be within norms for the title here? It would be just
so changes to mesh quality metrics, or quality additions to mesh quality metrics. So something like that. Something that just like gets the message across, but it's not too big.
How about that? Mesh quality metrics, Jacobian, other improvements.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. And then or in the description, you'll write like a small brief of like what the changes are and like what improvements you've added, and that's about it.
What do you think of that?
Looks good.
Okay.
And now, like, if you want this to be assigned to someone specific, usually you do a change over here. But, like, it's not usually followed, but, whoever is raising the merge request is usually the person who's the assignee to merge this in. So you can either add yourself to this or somebody who's working with mesh quality metrics.
So there's only a few people who are actually allowed to get code onto the main branch.
That's right.
I'm not one of those people, am I? I don't think I should be. I'm not trustworthy. So if I assign to myself, would that make me be the person responsible for getting on the main branch?
Uh, Not really. So like, it gives you a command to like ask somebody with those privileges to like, do this process for you. So at that time, either one of the people who has like access to that, like that could be either me or Ken or Rob or anybody else.
Abhishek, you've got the power?
Yeah, I got the power.
Wow. Okay, nice. Okay, so I should put your name then, is what you're saying.
Not right now.
Okay.
Like that's maybe I'll chime in later and like do the last step, like once everything is fixed, I'll just go and merge.
Okay, but I don't understand. What does assignee mean?
Assignee means like if somebody has comments to, like better this merge request and like those issues are pointed out, then you go fix those changes in your branch and like commit those changes again.
I don't understand. Right? So I guess one more time. I'm assigning someone to review this, or I'm saying
not review this. If somebody saying, like work on this, like work for improvements if there are any like suggestions from the community.
Okay.
Like hey, maybe like this function is named weirdly. Can you change this name to this? Like those kind of changes you'll do in your branch.
Yeah.
Push those changes, and then that's the person. Usually, like this is just a notional assignment. Like it doesn't like really matter who merged the whole thing.
But this video, this video hopefully will have utility for the next person who's starting off, so they can look at it and understand what this means. I still don't get it. Is this trying to task a member of the community to review my changes, or is this saying yes or no?
No.
Or this is saying if someone has suggestions, this is the person who will fix it.
That's right.
Okay, so that should be me.
Right.
Okay, and that's what you said at the beginning. Okay, and then milestone. No milestone.
I don't think like it's attached to any milestone. If you are aware of this, I don't know.
I don't know what 8.2. I mean, it's certainly attached to exascale computing project milestones.
That's right.
But I don't think these correspond to those numbers. So
yeah, those are not relevant, I guess. Like you could create a merge request right now and just like let them be.
Yeah.
Nobody would question you about those.
So you're trying to tell me to speed through the video here. I want to go through these different options, Abhishek. What does label mean?
Labels is like, what area of development is this? Like, is this like additions to like data model as like this thing is suggesting?
Yeah.
I don't think like we are targeting like any of the three labels.
No.
But so usually nobody ends up using these options. Like
okay.
This is quite informal.
Yep.
But what comes after this is quite formal.
Okay. So good. Okay. So good. So thanks for that. Source branch Jacobian cell metric, target branch the master. Mm-hmm. So good. So should I'm ready to click submit merge request?
Yeah, you are.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's clicked.
Cool.
Okay. So now what I remember from last time. Oh, okay. So good. So now what's happened here?
So what the Gitware website, like this GitLab website has done is like it has created the merge request for you, right?
Yep.
Now what would it do is like kind of engage a workflow of testing, and it would also like begin a review process where you can like add users to like or like ask users to see your changes and like make suggestions.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm so annoyed. We still have the stuff about the dataset reader base on there. That's from our previous merge that we had to squelch out. So I don't know why it's showing up there. Oh, here, let me make it bigger for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So you see, so it's, so here's my impression of what's happening. So we said merge, and of course it's not going to accept it till the very end, and so there's something at the end where we type in like a comment to this process like do merge, and that's what makes it accept. But
that's right.
But before that, it does stuff. And so it ran the build bot, and it's saying that it's queued this for testing, and there's a C dash, which is the kitware testing infrastructure. Is that what C dash is, or that's C test? C dash runs C test because C dash is the dashboard.
C dash is just a dashboard for the tests that you see, and it gives you like a good matrix of like what tests it's executed, how many failures there have been, either build failures or unit test failures. So you can actually like click on C dash right now and like just see if any tests have started to execute.
Yeah. And so it
Right.
looks like we already
And
have an error. That's the
immediately off the bat, there have been like a couple of configuration issues. I don't know like if that's because of the code that you did or just failures on those machines.
okay. Well, so should we click on this to see what the error is?
Sure. So like you can like click on the red box which says error and like it takes you to the exact error message. Yep.
That's odd. That doesn't really seem like something related to what we did. We didn't touch any build stuff.
That's right. No problem. We can just like go back one page
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we'll just like let these tests run like but fix the other issues that we see on the
Okay.
website,
So
like the discussion.
in a situation, so but let's just be clear about this. Here's a Windows issue. We haven't modified anything about CMake. We don't think we've caused a problem. And so in a situation like this, a developer would ignore the error and just push forward.
So usually like we get feedback from the kitware people. So like I usually tag Rob like, hey, this is failing, but I don't think this is related to any of my changes.
Yep.
Is this a problem? And he would respond back like saying, yeah, this is the problem of the machine. Maybe something is wrong with the machine and we'll need to like, fix it and
Yeah.
they will fix it for you.
Okay.
Else, like if he genuinely thinks this is caused by some of the changes that you've made, then he'll let you know and then you're supposed to like figure out what's wrong and fix
Okay.
it. But I don't think like this is related to any of the changes that you did.
Okay.
So we are over here, but we'll just tag Rob later.
Okay.
Once we fix the other issues and all the tests start running again.
Okay. So
Sounds good?
yeah, sounds good to me. So now we're back here and we see formatting errors. And
Right.
so let me just be, and this was very expected by me because I've gone through this before, but I think it might be useful to actually just look and see something that almost certainly is going to come up. Is that if I go to filters, testing, and I look at my new mesh quality test, right here, I formatted these coordinates in a way that made sense to me because I had 3 points for a triangle, 4 points for a quadrilateral, 4 points for a tetrahedron, 5 for a pyramid, 6 for a wedge, and 8 for a hex. But this sort of white space and formatting is frowned upon in VTK-m. They want to be formatted differently.
So I don't think you have any white spaces over here. Like any amount of spaces which are like before any line of code is fine.
Yeah.
Usually, but the limit of like a line should be 100 characters. And I think like the last line of yours it exists those exceeds those 100 characters.
It
So
might, yeah. No, actually, I don't think it does. It's 110. Anyway, we'll see, but that might be a spot that as we reformat, it changes the white space. So it's saying, and so of course, here's something that I already alluded to, but Abhishek and I did a merge before and we got things funky, and it seems to still remember that. We tried to clean that out as we set up our first branch. It's still there. And then a bunch of other things where it's saying, here's the files that we have changed, and it's saying we need to do a reformat. And
okay, you do have white spaces. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, and some of these have trailing white space. Well, we were looking at one file. There's many files, so so here's a bunch of trailing white space. So no problem. But I need to go and do something to fix it. And the thing I do is I type, is it do reformat? Is that
Yeah,
right?
but the D in do is capital.
Okay.
Yeah. And this should only format the formatting issues. This won't clear any white spaces for you. That's your responsibility.
Okay. So
right?
So that means that I'm going to have some work to do because there's actually quite a bit of trailing white space, isn't there?
That's right. But like if you see like the files that have white spaces are only a few though. So there's like a lot of white spaces, but only like in a couple or maybe like 3 or 4 files.
There's only 6 files total. Okay, so good. So I think what we should do is we're going to pause the video and fix the trailing white space. I thought it would fix it for us, but it's not going to. Now, but before I do that, Abhishek, this is exactly where we ran into trouble before, is I started doing stuff on my checkout while Kitware was doing stuff on, do reformats, and then we ended up with 2 versions that we could never unify. Any chance of that happening again?
No. So like there's a way where you can like sync the changes that Kitware makes to your branch and pull them into your branch, and we'll do that once we've done the do reformat part.
Okay.
So what we'll do is fix all these trailing white spaces, then execute the do reformat, and then pull those changes into your repo again, so that if you have to like work again, you'll have the fresh changes from Kitware as well.
Okay, very good. I'm going to stop the video, and here we go. Stop it.